Let's do this before you have an allergy attack.
That feels good. I can feel like my back hair, like just kind of going like doing the hula. Let's do the show.
Hi, I'm Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Zach Rosenberg, and this is great. This is feeling good. Yeah. I want to turn around and do it on the front side, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
And if you don't, I mean my titties.
Titties.
My titties.
Hi, I'm Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Zach Rosenberg. 8-Bit Dad is the modern parent source for real fatherly opinions, which is updated mostly daily, not in the last couple days. And on this show, we talk about some of the great stories that we find online by other dad bloggers.
Yes, and where can we find those stories?
Well, personally, I find these stories, and I think you do too.
On the internet?
On the internet.
Yes.
In a Facebook group called Dad Bloggers. It's filled with dad bloggers. You can find that group at facebook.com/dadbloggers. Go figure. And if you are a dad blogger yourself and you want to join the secret society of over 230 dad bloggers, you can join that group. And that's at facebook.com/groups/dadbloggers.
Yes. Today is daylight savings.
It is.
And I hate losing an hour, but we're trying to make it count here today by doing a correct show. I don't know if you noticed this, but last week we had a slight mic issue.
Did we?
And we fixed that. So that should be better today, hopefully.
I was using some black licorice instead of a mic last time.
Black licorice is like poking out your shirt. What happened this last week? We both went to some Kings games. You went to one on Monday night.
I did.
And that seemed to go well. They won.
5-1.
Yeah. And
Carter got a hat trick, and it was free hat night.
So
you do the math.
Special shout out to, I don't know, she's probably never going to watch the show, but I saw an old friend from grade school yesterday. Surprised one of her nephews who had he's a 5-year-old dude, just turned 5, and he had like a birthday party at her place, her and her parents' place, and me and my friend Troy, we dressed up in our Stormtrooper armor, and because it was like a Star Wars themed birthday party, and he was going to be Darth Vader, and he made like this really grand entrance, and we were going to like back him up as 2 Stormtroopers, and everyone loved it. So I want to give special thanks to her for giving us, like me and my wife, some boy clothes, because she has like a 5-month-old boy, and he's like outgrowing him like crazy.
Yeah, as they do.
So that was cool. Something other Stormtrooper related stuff that happened this week. I saw a post by Joanna Schroeder on the Good Men Project, who posted this open letter to her son, who I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say that he was bullied, but he was called a nerd by someone else at school, and it was because he had like these, really thick Ray-Ban glasses, and those are really stylish. I think Andy Hurled from How to Be a Dad wears them all the time, along with the earbuds.
That whole nerd thing's real tough. When I was like a kid, it wasn't necessarily nerd. For me, it was always you're a fag, you're gay.
Yeah,
and it's like, number one, like, who cares either way? But, like when you're a kid, it's like anything to make someone different. It's like my shorts were too tight, so
your socks.
So that made me gay.
I wore socks that were like up to my knees at one point, because
which is incredibly awesome nowadays.
It is awesome now, but back then it was really stupid, and I got called all sorts of names for that.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like kids should kind of get teased a little, but not a lot. And the problem is you can't have like a qualitative scale on that.
Yeah.
But, Joanna did the right thing by, sitting them down and telling them, that the people that love you. And there's that quote that kind of went around that people that mind don't matter, and people that matter don't mind.
People that don't mind
Yeah, kind
whatever.
of.
It's a Dr. Seuss quote, I think.
Yeah, or Morgan Freeman. He seems to say it.
Morgan Freeman says everything on the internet. But I took a picture and sent it to her. Where is it? She mentioned in her article that he likes Star Wars and wants to like make movies like Star Wars eventually. So I dressed up with the Stormtrooper outfit and wrote him a little sign. So that was cool. She liked it.
She liked it with a like button.
Yeah,
like.
It was a busy week, and still haven't gotten up last week's show. But
Well, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So, anyways, what's our first story here?
Looks like it's 10 Reasons I Feel Bad for Your Husband.
This was by the Daddy Files.
Yeah, Aaron Govia.
Aaron Govia. This looked like...
So that was a reaction to...
This was a reaction post
What was her name?
to Scary Mommy.
Something like
A genuinely funny and respectable writer.
She was, that was not on her site, it was on Yahoo though, right? I think it was the original.
It
was like a Yahoo article.
Well, it was a guest post written by some woman named Rebecca Gallagher. So it wasn't necessarily her.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't read the whole. I mean.
So he was gonna let it go initially. He was gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people.
But this.
So they were gonna let it go.
This really digged into some really stupid territory.
It did.
A little bit like Nick Mom territory.
Yeah.
And if you watched our show or read our website, which
we love them.
9 out of 10 of you haven't. That's including us.
That's for sure.
You know that we don't like certain things that Nick Mom does.
Like, puts up a website, goes on the air.
Is on the internet. But they have a list about 10 of these 10 things. First one is he gets so hungry on outings as a family, you give him the protein bar you keep for the kids in your own purse for snack emergencies.
So that was I don't even know if we mentioned it, but this is the 10 ways your husband is just another child.
Pretty much.
The original article. 10 reasons your husband is just another child. Which when you read that headline, you're like, this is going to be great. Let's read it.
Yeah, that's nice.
So, yeah, that first one was the get so hungry on outings that you give them the protein bar you keep for your kids.
Whatever.
Like in a purse for emergencies. Okay.
Aaron writes, are you telling me he was hungry during a family outing and then, wait for it, asked if you added anything to eat? Selfish sucker.
What in the hell?
What the hell is wrong with this guy? He would rather play video games than clean the garage or do any chores. You, I just vacuumed.
I think, okay, so outrage is the obvious response. My response to this is who wouldn't?
Well,
when my wife and I were reading this, my wife was like, me too.
Yeah.
You're like, I'd rather play video games and do chores, but you do them. Like, you do them anyway. Like the would you rather
thing, yeah. He'll leave his underwear on the bathroom floor.
Nope. I will not.
He forgets to hang up his towel.
Nope.
Hilarious.
I will not.
Wet towel and dirty underwear. That's it. Rebecca's right. Let's just take this out to the backyard and cane him.
Aaron's got a particular attitude.
Yeah, he does.
God bless him.
I think I think nothing wrong with it, but I think my wife is equal part to doing these kind of things.
Yeah.
She doesn't like video games, but this whole towel business.
Well, and this describes a particular person, not a gender. That's, I think, the issue. And
apparently this person loves ice cream. He leaves his ice cream bar wrapper on the end table by the couch. Like, who is she talking about? Who randomly eats ice cream, especially in the winter? That's just stupid.
We bought a lot of ice cream lately.
All right.
I just a heads up, I left my Pop-Tart wrapper on your table.
Well, stereotype confirmed.
Yes. And like button.
You have to remind him where things go in the kitchen.
Nope.
I know where things
Food goes in my mouth. That's all I need to know.
Food goes in here. He would rather stay up and watch stupid TV. He would rather stay up and watch a stupid TV show than go to bed at a reasonable hour.
Okay, guilty. I'm just gonna come out in front of that one. Guilty. I'd rather sit up and play Call of Duty any night than go to bed at a reasonable hour, and I do. Especially last night with daylight savings.
Yeah.
It was like 1 a.m. and then all of a sudden it was 3 a.m. And I was like, well, I can't stop now. I went to bed at like 3:20.
Can't stop, won't stop. When you ask him to take the garbage out, he rolls his eyes.
Nope.
I do it.
I do it.
I don't like trash sitting around, sorry.
Yeah.
He needs to be reminded not to eat junk food when he goes out with his friends.
I don't know why that's like, why do you need to remind him? He's a grown ass man, right? GM, grown ass man.
This is the last one. He stashes his Brussels sprouts to the side of the plate, hoping you won't notice he didn't eat them.
Nope. Love Brussels sprouts. And I do the cooking. So I serve things I like, including vegetables.
I don't know.
Got some in our fridge tonight.
This is straight out of Nick Mom territory.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
You know what? And this is just like the one that...
it's not even funny.
This is just like the one that John Willie found a couple weeks ago.
Is it Wiley or Willie?
I think it's Willie because it's 2 L's.
Willies. I love Willies.
But I even forget what website it was on. It was like parenting something. Parenting... I'm not even going to look for it. It's not going to work out. But it was on something with parenting in the title.
All right.
And it was like some gal wrote like 10 things that dads say or 10 things that men say or something. And it was another list like that where it was like, you know, I don't know. But it was the same kind of stuff. And, you know, why is this popular again all of a sudden? Like, why is this happening? Why is this a thing?
That's one of everyone left in the chat.
Everyone in our chat left. That's how bad this show is.
They heard us talking about hockey and like, man, even Canadian dad was like, hockey?
Hockey?
Who the hell's this? Give me some more of that Canada-Mexico baseball
feud.
That's good. They got more fighting in baseball now than they're doing hockey. I saw a fight last night. That was awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's, you know...
I don't like...
We need a couple guys to go after those articles. I read it and I was like, oh, I just want to light it up. But I won't. I just won't. You never see dads like taking the opening shot on moms with those. Like, there's no like dad website that has a list of like.
Well, it's almost like
things that moms say. It's like the moms have an axe to grind.
Moms are like off limits because they can give birth.
Yeah, so you can't say anything. It goes back to that stupid like patriarchy thing where it's like, well, moms get to say it because dads have been in charge forever. Oh, God, here we go again.
I don't know, man.
But those kinds of articles need to stop.
Dads are so important, and just it sucks to really put them down in a public spotlight, like anywhere, even if it's like a page that gets like a couple visits. It's the attitude that's more dangerous than the actual where it's being posted. Like the attitude is more what's the right word for
Voracious?
This? Venomous. Okay. Then I was going more reptilian, but there's more. I
appreciate that whenever one of those articles does go up, as Scary Mommies or whoever's did, that there's a lot of comments saying no. Yeah. No, this isn't right. No, that's not
from
me at
mothers.
No, that's not my husband.
No, from women and men,
moms and dads, and not just like our group of dad bloggers, like normal, just like average users that find it and say
because we're superior.
Because we're superior.
We're above average. Right. Just all the average.
The above average.
The other average people. So, but yeah, it's a good. He has some really funny responses to that as well. Those 10 things. So
check out the old daddy files.
There you go.
He sets the internet on fire.
What?
I don't know.
Next story: parenting studies are more catchy. Or I f*** that up.
And
3, 2. Parenting studies are more catchy. Are you serious?
Take 3.
Parenting studies are more than catchy headlines and one-sided stories.
Yes.
So
This is by Kenny Bodanis.
or
Bodanes. Kenny Bodanes, which is what I like to call him, even though it's not true.
he's got a sassy profile picture. That's
He does.
for sure.
And he loves pink.
Hey, we're fans of that.
I can see. So, I love it when guys like go into studies and facts and really talk about like issues. Not that, that last article wasn't like a serious issue. It was. But I love it when dudes get into like the real facts. And Kenny really jumped into this stuff. So he took a couple studies that had come out and like kind of picked them apart and went through the details of them really well. So the first one that he looked at was hands-on dads have more intelligent children. He says, study the insinuation. The insinuation was that
girls were found to be the most affected by absentee fathers.
Yeah, basically, kids, girls especially, were affected bad.
Like intelligence-wise.
Yeah, that you basically, if your dad's not around, you get dumber kids. So then he says, okay, now let's look at the study. So he talks about the study. He says, I better not go on a lot of business trips anymore, or else my daughter's going to turn out, stupid. Which he finds that could happen either way, I guess. He says, the study does report that children with absentee dads don't fare as well as other children. The research also does mention girls are more likely to have behavior adversely affected by a missing father. But what didn't get reported in most mainstream articles was mentioned prominently in the university's own publication. Here's a quote. It's a long one. I'll try to find the important parts. Mothers and caregivers are also important. No doubt fathers have a major impact, but there are definitely many alternative ways to raise a healthy child. Some kids with no contact with fathers or distant dads do well intellectually and emotionally. Very true. So the bottom line on that one was that a loving family is going to, a loving family and a supportive family is going to trump an absent father. So it's probably an absent father due to something like jail time or something that makes a kid adversely affected.
But these studies are so broad. It's so hard to figure. It's not like you're saying what race you are. There's so many variables that go into like the environment, the parenting style. Because you could have a mother and father being around, but letting their kid, watch TV all day while they're, I don't know, drinking,
exactly.
or just ignoring them.
Or they always use the term like involved, like an involved father. What if you're negatively involved? Like what if you are involved but beating your kid
or polishing your gun while you're changing diapers?
Yeah, exactly. Or you're involved with your kid and you go out and you play catch with them and do all the right stuff, but you teach your kid that other races are not as good as white people. Like there's a lot. I don't forget if we talked about this on or off the show last week, but Cracked, I think, did a great article about like what to believe on the internet, and one of the things was don't believe any study ever because all of it can be spun in a certain way, and just reversing some of the words in a question will get you completely different results.
Yeah, I think we talked about that enough.
So that sort of stuff's true.
And most of these studies that are done are by special interest
Paid
companies.
for by a company that wants to find the results. So they have someone write it specifically for that result that they want. They lead you into it, basically.
And it's one of those things where people I don't know why people do this, but they just don't think that maybe they should question, just like that quote, like that fake Morgan Freeman quote, where he just says something. And he doesn't, it's just a quote with his face, and you're like, he said it.
Yeah, well, because you read it in his voice whenever you read it.
That's true.
I'm like, well, he said it now. If he didn't say it before, he said it now in my head.
But I don't know.
So and then so the second study. This is the best part. Is the second study that Kenny mentions completely opposite, basically. Dad's off the hook. Study says fathers should be a little less involved in parenting.
All right.
I remember us covering this. I think maybe I don't.
This is at Ohio State University.
This is an older older 2011 study, basically saying that like when dads did chores around the house, like the marriage was worse or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the one.
We did something like that.
So, it says like their explanation echoed the assumptions I expressed in a post I wrote the following week. Blah blah blah. You can't click on that because I'm just talking. There's not automatically conflict when a relationship. There's not automatically conflict within a relationship when a man cooks or does the laundry, but rather when a husband attempts to, for the first time, tackle roles normally handled by his wife. This is true in any facet of life when an individual is accustomed to a certain responsibility and then must relinquish them to a second party. Well, yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of people that are able to split things in their household 50-50. There's some people that like a 60-40 or a 70-30 more. Mm-hmm. There's also different things. I mean, like my wife, like I was going to say if I made her mow the lawn, she'd hate it, but she was out there with like a leaf blower last week. So yeah, it's possible she wouldn't. But, there's a lot of guys and there's dudes that look into this kinds of stuff also. Like the Father's Work and Family guy, Scott Besson. He had talked about the father's second shift or third shift or whatever it's called, where all these work studies always look at moms as like, can't moms get a break? They go to work and then they come home and their second job is with the kid. So they do more work around the house than dads do. But what those studies never look at is dads that go and mow the lawn and work in the yard and do this and do that. They don't classify that as house chores. Like they classify house chores as like laundry, not like changing the oil in the car, whatever. So the studies all are weird when it comes to that sort of thing. But, there's a ratio in each family of what works. And that's what this... And
it's all situational. It's, depending on how the relationship, because being parents is almost like being coworkers. Mm-hmm. You have to find jobs that you do well. Jobs that you do, together well. Mm. Obviously, if you have kids, there's, sex was a good job, and that happened. That worked out. But there's stuff that you can do separately. Like if one's better at cleaning, like I'm better at cleaning. Mm-hmm. I'm more detail oriented when it comes to cleaning. Mm-hmm. So like I enjoy the out of cleaning just because I know I can control it a little bit better. But that's my OCD talking.
My wife likes, I wouldn't say she likes it, but my wife is better at loading the dishwasher. I'm better at taking it out.
And you find little stuff like that works. It makes it so much easier.
When I hear her go in the kitchen and go, I gotta empty the dishwasher, I like jump up and I'm like, let me help. Yeah. Because I'm not that she likes loading the dishwasher. She's just better at putting things in the dishwasher in a way to get stuff in. I put like 4 things in there and I'm like, I can't fit anything else.
Well, you're not good at Tetris. That's why.
I haven't known.
She's probably like loading the dishwasher. She's like, da, 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 like she's hearing them Tetris music.
Broom, broom, broom. So the third study, since we want to make this a long segment,
let's do it.
Is traditional dads more likely to raise girly girls, says UBC researcher. So the insinuation is dads who avoid washing dishes, doing the laundry at home tend to raise girly girls, daughters who prefer dolls and aspire to be housewives. The question the Vancouver Sun doesn't ask, says Kenny Bodanes, otherwise known as Kenny Bodanis. By otherwise known as, I mean that is his real name. Wouldn't a man assuming a more domestic role in the home be more likely to be married to a woman exhibiting the same behaviors? Yes. Wouldn't stay-at-home dad, by definition, be married to a woman who is the housewife's main wage earner? Would that also encourage a girl to seek non-traditional career? So, yeah, okay, so is it the dad that doesn't do house chores that makes the girl princessy and housewifey, or is it the mom who is a housewife that makes the daughter housewifey or so and so?
I think it's the mother.
And you know what? And I feel like that was also in the study too, Although, according to Kenny Bodanis, I don't think it is. But
well, I mean, kids really want to emulate their parents. You know, I think my daughter puts my wife's high heels on. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just because that's what she's. You know, she sees her most of the day. She's at home, and she just has more of a connection, and just wants to be like her. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, I think here's the thing. I think that if you're going to do anything too much, it's hugging and kissing your kids. Yeah. That's like the best thing you could possibly do. And I think kids grow up more well-adjusted with a greater amount of love than they do without. And if that is a traditional thing, not to, be lovey-dovey to your kids, like if dad doesn't want to hug and kiss their daughter,
well, I think all the time. I think that was just for chores and stuff. Like, I don't know if it had to do with like traditional.
Who cares?
Like,
who cares?
So and so.
It's just chores. Just do them.
Researchers care. University of Ohio or whoever that was.
I don't know. I think sometimes maybe we're analyzing too much. Like not us.
No, never us.
Never. But
we're going just the right amount.
We're doing just fine.
But like as a society, we're like looking in too much. Like
it's like
if you have a black father and a white mother, is a daughter going to turn out to be blah blah blah?
If your husband has a black car and you have a white car, how does that affect your children? Yeah. Like who?
Well, black cars you have to turn the air conditioner out more.
That's true.
It absorbs more.
That's true. But if you tinted the windows, you don't have to. So maybe that's a topic we can. Right about.
We can go into. Let's get on jalop.
Maybe we can do like if you have a white car, if you have a black car, comment. Yeah, maybe we can do one of those. Oh, the internet.
So I mean, I like when guys like Kenny, like go back and look at that stuff and see the spin on it.
Yeah.
Because we analyze too much, and then the media spins something a certain way, and then.
But yeah, he reiterates our point that we talked about last week offline, where he's like, studies are great. They are carried out by MDs and PhDs whose mandate it is to be objective and report their findings in as much as comprehensive detail as possible. Unfortunately, their work gets sifted through the ugly filter of mainstream media, and even worse, the 500-word sexy headlines generate page views blogosphere.
Yeah, of course.
It's important, although sometimes a real challenge, to focus on a psychological and sociological truism. An emotionally happy and stable home, what I mentioned, will generally result in happy, healthy children contributing positively to society. Amen.
Well, and you know what? I think the problem is in the society, we're finding it so hard to be happy and healthy that we've got to find these studies that we're grasping for a study that's going to prove that it's something else. That it's like, oh, it's celery? Celery was what was making us so f***ed up? Like, oh, okay, let's just cut out celery then. Oh, God, it's because dad isn't washing the dishes? Like, it's got to be like something other than health and happiness, because, God, that part is so tough.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. This was a really great article. He's in Canada.
Yeah, I saw a couple OUs in his favorite.
He's got a
OU
for the .com. He's got a sperm.
He's got sperm in the .com.
Men get pregnant too. Sperm.com.
So check out mengetpregnant2.com for more of Kenny's stuff.
Yeah, it's also on the Good Men Project.
And that article went to the Good Men Project, which is where I first saw it.
Yeah.
Because admittedly, I don't just randomly surf to Kenny's website. Sorry, Ken.
No one surfs our website. So.
And it's good. We're getting the giggles late, dude.
No, it's good.
Stories. So you have.
See ya.
So you have. Why can't I get through it? Like one word, I can't get through it. So you have.
Are you serious?
Why? Oh, God, why?
And everyone left.
So, if you've got a story that you'd like to see make it to our show and or our website, you can contact us at dads@8bitdad.com.
And you can be sure to like us on Facebook. Be sure, please. Facebook.com/8bitdad.
And we'd love it if you would follow us on Twitter. But we understand if you don't.
No.
And that's twitter.com/8bitdads.
I saw that last line. So that's it for this week. I am Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Brian Ferguson. For more videos, check out.
So that's it for this week. I am Brian Ferguson.
And I'm Zach Rosenberg. And for more videos, you can check us out at 8bitdad.com. Boom! T's.